Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Antlers, this week's version. We have figured out something that totally, I believe, figured out. Something that has been going on here the last couple of weeks. We've been losing a few deer, and I think we've got that problem figured out. We'll be talking about that later in this video. Those of you who've seen some of the videos the last couple, 2 or 3 days that we put out earlier this week know what that is. We've been talking about it. But we're going to take a look at the antlers and see what's going on. We've got some interesting pics and interesting things from the deer on the outside, especially Forrest, who is still hanging in there with us, and he was really badly injured. I'd sure like to find out what he got trapped in, what he got caught in. I'm going to do a lot of walking in the woods, and Sherry said she knew where some barbed wire was. We're going to go check that barbed wire out. There's some places around where we took down all the cross fences. When we bought this ranch years ago, we took down all the cross fences and just so we wouldn't have any. We didn't want any deer getting caught in cross fences and dying out there. They jump fences, and when they do, if they catch their legs in there, sometimes that wire will wrap around and it traps them and they're caught. And they can't get away, and something eats them there alive, kills them alive, or they eventually die from lack of water. And that's, I don't know, whatever caught him had the inside of both of his hind legs. Maybe one was caught and the other one, I don't know if that happened during all of the, he was gone for 4 or 5 days. So obviously something had him caught for quite a while, and he was able to escape somehow just because he's a big, strong, beautiful buck probably. We're trying to add some weight to him right now. I've been feeding him. He's been coming around pretty much every day. The other deers aren't bothering him. They're glad to have him back, it seems like. I haven't seen him doing any sparring with anybody, but hopefully here in the next couple, 2 or 3 weeks also, we'll get you some sparring videos of deers sparring. A lot of times when they're sparring, if I walk out and try to video them, they quit. And so it's kind of like taking your car that's messing up to the mechanic. When you take him to the mechanic, it won't mess up while you're there. And then as soon as you get back home, there it's messing up again. So that's kind of the way the deer are in sparring. But before we go through all the bad stuff that's going on, let's have some fun. Let's go in the pens and see if we can't get our favorite girl, Split Ears, to eat a few carrots. I bet we can. I look over there and she's standing there at the door waiting for me right now. I said, "Come on, Jimmy, come on." Like my buddy Blake Shelton and his finger. How's he do that? He's got that down, to get, So have I got it down, Blake? Is that it? Split Ears is going, "Come here, Jimmy. Come here, you big, beautiful carrot carrier."
I want you to take a look at the 2 wild deer that have joined the herd. I mean, they are dandies. And they're not as big a body, or not quite as big a antlers as TC, but they're awfully big. Well, wait a minute. I think maybe, I don't know if that's TC right there on the other side looking the other way, or if that's one of them. That's one of them right back there. That might be both of them there. I just can't get a really good look at them, the way they're feeding. I was looking at them through the binoculars before I picked up I'm still inside the house. Before I picked up my phone. Wild does, another wild doe. Got a lot of deer out there this morning that are not here normally. But those 2 big bucks, that's the second or third time I've seen them. They're dandies. And I think that is them, but I'm not 100% positive of that. That might be one coming in over there. I don't know. No, I don't think so. That is one right there. Now he's going to come look around. There you go. Look at the size of that deer. He's 5 or 6 on one side and 4 on the other. No tag. And I think that might be the other one right there. It's a little bit smaller, maybe a year younger. And TC was there a moment ago. I don't see him. But that's that's what happens. Of course, now they're coming around to eat, but they're coming around because of the rut also, which is getting closer all the time. The younger bucks, they don't have a chance. A great way to look at a couple antlers this morning is in the beautiful green grass. And that's some nice looking antlers right there. And right there is some really nice looking antlers, which is TC. Another buck back here in the back. Forrest was out here a few minutes ago. I don't see Forrest right now. He may be down there around the water drinking. He was out here a minute ago. They were all just really, really close to the house here. They moved out a little bit. Molly's down there with them, of course. Molly hangs out with the boys. She really loves doing that. Big, beautiful buck right there. There's Molly. There's TC. And there's 1 or 2 deer down there along the lake. We'll probably get a little bit better look at them after a while, but that's a nice little look on the green grass. We can back off a little bit and see that the grass has greened up a lot. 1.2 inches of rain made a difference. Of course, the sprinkler system had been working on that for about a week. A little turn over there and look up on the mountain where we're beginning to get some color up there. Not a lot yet, but these nights are getting down. 1 or 2 of them down in the 30s. Ooh. Pretty chilly out here this morning, as a matter of fact. Very chilly. Okay, guys and girls, I've got them here. I've got them here right here. Split ear's going to get the first carrot, and you're going to get the second carrot. Let me move this down a little bit and back away from them. Get down here. Y'all don't want to look at me. Y'all want to look at the deer. Let me get this down where we can see the deer. They're up here having a great time. Gathered here to have their carrots. This is the fun part of the Antlers video every week. And we feed these girls some watermelons and zucchini and cucumbers, okra and stuff out of the garden. Our garden this year has mostly been for the deer, obviously with Chris. I don't know how to cook all that stuff. I can't do all that great cooking that they do. And you girls are scarfing them down, aren't you? They are getting after them. Both these girls are looking good. I'm thinking about trying to move split ears. I'm thinking about trying to move split ears up with Whitey. We've been talking about that. Many of y'all have suggested that also, and I think it's a great idea. And we sure might have that happen. You girls get in here a little close so they can see you up close. See how pretty you are. Yeah, y'all are pretty. No makeup needed. God created these girls, didn't need makeup. They're beautiful just the way they are. Both of these deer are pretty old. They may or may not have babies, so I don't know. Thinking about though moving them in with split ear, and moving them in with not with Whitey, with Prince Charming. I said Whitey a minute ago, didn't I? Get to feeding these deer, and I don't think very well. I don't think very well when I'm not feeding them. Oh me, you guys, they're like a vacuum cleaner. They're getting it just as fast as you can run that vacuum. It's cleaning the floor. I promise you. Y'all slow down a little bit. Y'all slow down a little bit. Slow down a little bit. Well, you want some sugar, Jimmy? You want some sugar? You want a little nose bump? These deer are looking beautiful right here. Hopefully they stay that way. Definitely. Now you notice that I've got a long sleeve shirt on out here, and I'm cold. It's pretty cool. We finally have gotten rid of that really hot weather. We do have still some really pretty weather forecast for next week. The pins are still a little bit wet, but not real bad. They just sort of,
about 1 or 2 chew, and then they swallow is all they do, and they're really not getting too involved with chewing up carrots. I like for the little babies to eat it. The little babies chew them up real good. Y'all make about 2 chomps and swallow. That's all y'all do. That's right. That's it, girls. That's it. That's it. That's the last little bitty. That's it. Prince Charming is smart. She looks down on the ground to see what might be there. Okay, guys and girls, there's a couple of minutes of just pure fun right there, watching that little girl, or old girl, not little. She's big and she's old, but watching her eat that carrots with her buddy. We always have a fun time doing that. Patsy feeds them carrots. You know, Patsy buys carrots actually with his own money. And carrots are $2 a bag for 2 pounds. I just went through a pound right there is what I did. That's a half a bag, maybe a little bit more than a half a bag. Apache will buy carrots with his own money. Of course, he feeds them watermelon, a lot of the smaller watermelons. He don't let them get real big and if they're disfigured or something. And we've been eating watermelons, all the watermelon I want. Chris hardly don't even want watermelon anymore. But I've been giving them to Jamie and Mandy and Jack and Sherry. But the most of the watermelons we're growing right now are going to the deer, and I think I'll plant even more watermelons next year. Not for me. I got all the watermelons I can say grace over, but watermelons for the deer. More cucumbers for the deer because they like those a lot, and so I will probably be getting a few more plants for the deer. We need to raise carrots, but we've tried that. We tried that some, but we didn't have much good. Let's go take a look at Whitey and see what he looks like this week, and then we'll go look at Prince Charming, take a look at him and see if he's broken off any more antlers. And we'll be visiting with y'all right now. Okay, there's Whitey standing down there in the shade. That's not a very good look at him, but we will zoom in there and try to get a little bit better look, and then we will. Golly, isn't he pretty standing there? Isn't that gorgeous? Look how fat he is. Look how fat he is. Some of you had said that it looked like he was losing a little weight, and I agree with you. But he doesn't look like he's lost any weight now. He looks like he's gained it back. We have given Whitey several shots. We gave him a shot 2 or 3 days in a row. We've missed 2 or 3 days that we let him go, and then give him 2 or 3 more shots. He obviously has not had what has been killing our other deer. That hadn't happened, but he still has. There was something wrong with him, but I think we've got that pretty much solved. And I think really it was that cyst on the front of him there. It still seems to be draining, but it is draining, and I think that it's probably not growing anymore. It's burst and it's draining. I keep thinking about Jenny. I'm not a veterinarian. I'm not a doctor. I don't know a lot about the things that go on with these deer, but I do know that he is much better than he was, and he's not limping anymore. And I think that all those deer have that. In fact, the bigger the bucks get, the bigger that little chest part of them there becomes. And but that one is something a little bit bad. But we don't know what it is. There's not really a way to tell, probably without having Cade come out and put him down. And gosh, we would just worry about that because many times you don't get them back. Okay, I do have a little closer look at Whitey there, and you can see just what a magnificent specimen of a white-tailed deer he really is. Whitey was born here on the ranch, born here in the pen. He spent 1 year outside. That was his second set of horns. For those of you that are new with us, we've had quite a few new people come on the Jimmy and Chris Houston's Twin Eagle Ranch YouTube channel. Our Facebook is holding right in there at about 635,000 people. For some reason, Facebook quit adding people to it. We are adding about 100 new subscribers every day. And you can see on the front of that deer, it's that sort of little bag there, deal hanging down. That is, I believe, what was causing his problems. And, you know, it might have just got infected. We gave him several shots. We gave him Drax, a real expensive $800 a bottle stuff. We gave him some Excellin, which is quite a bit less expensive than that. And we are out of Drax, and I've hesitated to buy any more, particularly since the Excellin seems to work really, really well also, and it's quite a bit less expensive. When you give him a shot of the Drax, you know, you're talking about a $30 or $35 shot right there. So you're doing that a few times to get him back well. But it has seemed to solve the problem, and he seems to be doing really good right now. His antlers are big, and he's just beautiful. I hope he'll move around just a little bit so we can see if he's limping or anything. Well, I've come down here right close to him, and he kind of acts like he wants to come up here and visit with me, but he's just stood there in that exact same spot. I noticed he got a little rub spot over on his leg there, which I don't know how he done that. Probably here in the pen somehow he's done that. He might have been rubbing his hindquarters on something, but he's finally going to walk a little bit so we can see if he's got any limp. He looks like he's walking fine. Let me back out of this a little bit. We could follow him. I want him to get out in the sunshine too so we could see those beautiful white antlers. He's looking good. I don't think he's, the weight that he might have lost, I think he's gained it back. He's just looking absolutely beautiful right there. Nothing seems to be wrong with him at all. I'll follow him around a little bit. Going over here, a bunch of the other deer over here in the corner, and he's heading over that way. Hopefully he is well enough to breed all of these does in here. We've got several does in here with him. Hopefully he is old enough to breed them, or well enough to breed them. I would imagine that even as powerful as that urge is for a big buck, that when he's feeling bad and sick, he might not be too interested in that. But hopefully we've got him doctored back to being in really good shape. We are going to let all of the baby deer go. We might try to move one or two of these big does in here up there with Prince Charming, because we do want to have some pieballs going. I've never ever seen a pieball in a while. Most of the people that I talk to here in Oklahoma that are friends of mine that are deer hunters, and even those that are not deer hunters but see a lot of deer along the highway in these areas where we have a lot of deer, like here in southern Oklahoma, where they got a lot of deer all over Oklahoma. But you can see a lot of his harem there. He's looking really good. And hopefully he's over his illness, and hopefully he does just fine. You know, we lost Snoopy here a while back, and he appeared to be totally 100% perfectly healthy the evening before, and that night he died. But again, humans do the same thing. They go from being perfectly healthy, sometimes 30, 40, 50 years old, not even older people, and will have a heart attack or something will happen, and they die at a younger age. And Whitey, that's his second set of horns. Hopefully he breeds all of these does, and we let these baby bucks loose and they go out and breed some more, and things will be good. We've got quite a few baby bucks in here that we're going to separate out here real quickly. We're right down to about doing that. We've had a couple of pens shut off. We thought maybe there was something in the pens that was causing the deer to die, and we learned that it absolutely had nothing to do with the pens at all, had nothing to do with what we were doing. It's just one of those deer killers.